bringing over 6 dudes a night, like
6 dudes a night.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
I honestly don't know how to feel about this. I can't help but feel bad. I feel disgusted. So many mixed feelings. Because I genuinely care about how people feel, but that is exactly why something like this should not be overlooked. Because it is not normal. Because it is not okay. And for others to care about you more than you care about yourself and your own self-worth is absolutely not acceptable. Because not only does it spit in the face of love, take that as you will because that might be corny to some, maybe not to others, but doing shit like this disregards yourself from any real love and comfort in your life. Because any form of union you might be able to have with someone is now devalued because just about anyone can get it. How is your love and your comfort special when I don't have to work to get it? What does that say about you as a person? And at the end of the day, a partner. Even as a man, if anyone were to go out with a woman like this, what would that say about them? Obviously, they're probably not shit either. 6 guys in one night is just crazy, bro. Like, how the fuck are you not tired after that? I hate to sound like an old ass nigga, but 6? Like, bro, what the fuck? Don't you got a job or something? That's crazy.
Yeah, so how did your sex addiction manifest?
It looked like a lot of different things. I think it started with adult content when I was like 9-10 years old or something like that. Yeah. So, and I kept getting addicted to it, and I like could not stop watching it.
So apparently this woman is actually a sex addict, or at least was one. Oh my God, bro. I feel like most people nowadays do get an early exposure when it comes to adult content because it's just so easy to access nowadays. And I feel like this is a scenario where the immature mind actually consumes this information during a very young stage in your life where you're still developing. And through the consumption of this information, it completely warps and alters your perspective and viewpoints on sex. And it becomes something seen more as an activity than what it actually is. And I feel like this is extremely unhealthy. Now, y'all have heard my takes before on live stream. But look, I'm a guy that enjoys the finer things in life. I think we all are. You're kind of like, dang, that girl at the mall, or this girl that I ran into, or maybe if you're a female, that guy that you ran into, you're like, I'd really want to like fuck with that. It would be nice to just do something, you know? And it's only natural we feel that way because we are attracted to other people, etc. Maybe you just need that release sometimes, but I do feel like there's a fine line when it comes to these kinds of things because when it comes to sex, what is it really? Obviously, we all know what it is. It's just simply reproduction. We take something as simple as this and we turn it into things that it shouldn't necessarily be. Nowadays, it's merely just a hobby or people use it as a supplement. At least for me, I've met a few girls that simply have sex because they are bored. Because they don't have any real hobbies outside of chasing relationships or just sleeping with people. And obviously in the moment it might seem good because you get that momentary release or whatever you're looking for in the moment, but in the long term when it comes to actually selecting a partner, nobody's gonna want to settle for that. You'd have to date a real loser or desperate guy that'd be willing to deal with that. But yeah, I'm gonna say right here, I really feel like we do forget what sex actually is. And I want to make it clear that I'm not trying to sound like a... Obviously, I'm gonna like that shit too, because I'm a bit of a goon, I'm not gonna lie. But I want you guys to know that I'm always keep it real with you, even if you might not want to actually hear that. It's not an activity, it's not a hobby, it's not something you should do when you're bored, even though you could do it if you're bored. But if you do decide to treat it that way, you can expect consequences like these. Because it's not a hobby. It's fucking reproduction. And if you're reproducing with everybody who wants to reproduce with you, I'm not reproducing with that, bro. Because once you're like ran through like that, is that really like mother material? Even with guys that just hit just about anything, it's like, is that really father material? Why would anyone want to settle with that? Because at the end of the day, when you do these kinds of things, not only do you not have any real sense of value in terms of yourself, but you have no real love when it comes to
others. And then eventually it got to a point where like I was 19 and I got kicked out of my house because I was like bringing over 6 dudes a night. Like,
well, at least on an intimate level, because there's no way you're fucking that many people and you're loving every single last one of them. To really sum it up, it feels like this immature idea of sex that she had when she was that age, when she first watched, never really changed. And this is the product of what happens when you don't protect the children, your children. There's a possibility they could have a warped perspective like this and they just rock with it all their life.
Enough was never enough. So, yeah.
What? Wait. 6 dudes a night?
For like a consecutive week, yeah. Yeah.
And see, this is exactly what I'm talking about, because there's no way you're fucking 6 dudes in one night, like back to back to back, right? And then you love every single last one of them, because that love should be a safeguard. It should be a standard. It should be a wall that should protect you. As men and women, when it comes to giving yourself up or putting yourself out there, you need a standard, or everyone, including snakes, will take a piece of you.
A lot too, so I would go to the bar, drink, and hook up with guys. Yeah.
Okay, so you would sleep with six guys a night. Mm-hmm. So like, would you slot them in like 7 p.m., 8 p.m.,
Yeah.
9 p.m., 10 p.m.?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
God, imagine getting put on a schedule by a f***ing hallway. That's crazy. I don't know why, and I don't like to jump to conclusions and stuff like that. I just try to give my own perspective on things, but I just get the vibe that her doing this is like a part of her identity, and she uses this to get a lot of attention, because the way she's just going about describing these things so nonchalantly, it just feels like she's trying to wear that as a badge. Like, yeah, I slept with this many people and all this other crazy stuff. It's almost as if she doesn't care, but like, I mean, obviously she cares because it's gonna make her look bad and stuff like that. But I feel like deep down, I just get the vibe she doesn't really care. And I know it's not really fair for me to jump to a conclusion like that because I don't know her, but that's the hunch I'm kind of getting. And I'm low-key getting some very scummy vibes. Like, when I think of it even more, it's like, do any of these guys know that she was doing this to them? Like, could you imagine you're at a bar one day and you're talking to a girl and it goes well, and you're like, oh, this is probably, I could probably build a future with this girl, but little do you know, she's fucking 6 dudes and is literally the village whore. She's not even getting paid. She's just throwing it out there for free, bro. Got the village idiot and then the village whore. That, I don't know why, but I just can't help but feel as if something's just wrong with her, because you just can't do that, bro. It's just kind of sick too, because she just has a very childish vibe to her. And just thinking of somebody like this childish mentally doing all of these things is just very disheartening. And I hope those of you who are watching are observing this and are learning for yourselves and thinking of measures to protect the women that are around you. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. Do you have a little cousin, a sister, a friend? Show them the way so they don't have any misconceptions or childish beliefs that they carry on into adulthood.
Do you have a sense of how many men you've slept with?
Yeah, it's honestly, it's not like 300 or anything. It's like 136, I think.
136? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I've seen bigger numbers, or I've seen women say that they've done bigger numbers than that, 136. But honestly, to even be like in the hundreds is honestly comically foul. Did you know that 10 rows of bleachers could fit 130 people? Like, if you filled bleachers up, if you went to a football, if you went to, I don't know what type of sport game you're trying to go ahead and watch, but if you saw 10 rows of bleachers, like one set, not the entire row, that's enough. If you were to fill that up, that's the amount of men she let sleep with her. 136, like, how many different personalities is that? There's no way you even vibed with like more than half of these guys. Like, I just can't even imagine like putting myself out there even if I'm a male with just a bunch of strangers, females that I don't even know, probably don't even share a full conversation with, and just all shapes and sizes. She literally has no type. That's having no type. How do you function like that? And the sad part is she's not even that good looking of a girl. And that's why another thing why I kind of feel like this is like an attention thing, because I don't feel like most people would give that much attention, as fucked up as that may sound. And it just seems like she clings on to this. It's like, since you're not that desirable in the first place, you kind of just give people a freebie. Because if it was any other way, nobody would be willing to put in the work for you in the first place.
I was getting rejected probably more than the average woman because I was like putting myself out there.
Do you really think it was just because you were putting yourself out there?
Being a woman, it's very easily accessible. And
Sure.
they're just looking to have sex. So it was like I didn't really have to reach out most of the time.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
So you're getting rejected a lot, but then again, you didn't have to reach out a lot of the time. Like, I understand how that could be possible, but that's just kind of weird because it's like you didn't have to reach out a lot, but then you do weird things like this.
Acting out. Like I would like flash my neighbors and stuff, and like if I was just like, I don't know.
And see, this is what I'm talking about when I say I just really feel like she's on some like attention seeking shit. And it's like sex was only the very few ways that she could get that attention, because it's like the bare minimum of what she could offer for guys who are desperate enough, simply because she's a woman. Like, just looking at this is just really frying my brain, because it's just so fucking stupid, bro. Like, you just cannot be this pathetic of a human being. And it's just kind of sad, because it's like, I can get why people like this exist, but I'm just like, bro, why didn't you try to do better or something else? There's so many options, like, to be more interesting and be more attractive and all this other stuff. And the only thing that you thought was valuable about yourself was that you could have gave someone a body part that literally every other female has. You thought your was the only cool thing about you.
were you using protection?
No.
Did I say meant a cesspool? You know, I'm a very nice and considerate guy, but this type of thing is something you just can't be merciful with. It's crazy, because I really did feel bad for her at first, but when I just really look at the bigger picture, this is just really not it. This should not be like brushed under the rug. This should not ever be okay. Because she did talk about how she used to be addicted to drugs and extremely depressed, but how far can that go? Believe it or not, I might even come across as if I'm being a dickhead or if I'm being too harsh, but I think you guys would be surprised just how understanding and how much I could sympathize with this. Not saying that I've done anything on this level ever before, but I know how hard the world can be and how hard it can be for others. But at some point, you need to understand things like this is a very rare occurrence. And it's rare for a reason. There are plenty of people who are depressed who have gone through worse things and have also been drug addicts, whatever you want to call it. And they would never do something as foul as this. Not even using protection, just throwing yourself out there and just like hitting the town and going to bars and hooking up. Like, I bet you think she thought she was sweet doing that shit. But who's sweet now? Ain't nobody gonna hit that. And if they do and they know about anything that you've done in the past, they're a sorry ass motherfucker.
I literally was such a hoe. Like I literally would like sleep around with any new that guy that walked in the door. So like I made a reputation of myself there of like where it was like, dude, she's like crazy. Yeah. But most of the time, no, they didn't care, you know.
Okay.
We can't keep pandering. At some point, you have to draw the line and say, fuck that shit. And this is exactly where you gotta do that. Bro, like, it's just like what I've been saying, bro. A reputation. And then she's flashing her neighbors and doing all, it's literally all for attention. That is just insane to me. I'm just honestly at the point where I'm just tired of talking about this right now. So I'm just going to end the video here. I want to give a shout out to whatever.com because these clips did come to their podcast. Also, let me know what you guys think of this in the comment section below. Do you guys have any interesting opinions? Put them in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm just tired. I'm tired of talking about this, bro. It's just driving me insane. All my brain cells are committing suicide. I'm done.